Friends, I welcome all of you to our session on company law, and this is our first session today. So we'll be learning the basic things, the preliminary things of the Companies Act 2013. We are going to learn. We'll try to understand that thing. So this is one of the important law, important act we need to learn. It's a part of our syllabus. I'll be sharing the screen with you right now. So slowly and slowly we'll move into the concept. All of you are familiar with your syllabus. I'm not showing you once again. So let me just share the screen with you. Let us see what concept we are going to learn. So today, first of all, let me tell you. So we are learning the concept of law. When you talk about Companies Act 2013, so definitely all of you know that we are learning a law paper. Yes or no? It's a law paper or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So law paper means we have to follow it. It is the law of the land. We as the citizens, all of us needs to follow it. Okay. When you talk about any laws, let us first understand it at a very fundamental level. I do appreciate that many of you might be knowing, many of you might be highly qualified, might be aware of all these things, but still for the benefit of all of you. So let me start from the very scratch. You see, when you talk about any law, that means it's an act. It may be a central act, it may be a state act, but so far as company law is concerned, it is a central act. Central act means it is passed in the parliament and it has received the assent of the president of India. The moment the assent is received, that becomes the law, right? Prior to that, it was called as Companies Bill. Now, the relevant act that you are going to law is called as Companies Act 2013. Okay, so this is the background. Now, to understand this, what is that law? What is that act? We need to read that act. Now, every law, if you look at any law, you'll definitely find that law is divided into various chapters. Most of the law you can find it is divided into various chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, like. So in that chapter, you can find various sections, right? Let us say section 1. Sections may have subsections. Subsections may have clauses. Clauses may have subclauses. Subclauses may have items, right? There might be sub-items. There might be examples, illustrations. Okay, this is how law is structured. Okay, one chapter, inside the chapter, there will be various sections, subsections, clauses, subclauses, etc. Items like this, all these items. And there might be certain provisions also. There might be certain exceptions to a particular provision. So law is written like this. To understand the concept of law, first we need to see how law looks like. So I would also like to show you how Companies Act 2013 looks like. Let us see it, but let us have a look at that. After that only we'll proceed. We'll try to understand the features of companies law after that. So are you ready? Let us see how it looks like. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now let us first see. To see it, you see, all of us can see it. I am showing you. You can also try it at home. For that thing, I am going to share the screen with you. Just give me 1 second for that thing. 1 second. Yeah, now I'll be able to share the screen with you. Yeah. Now you see what you are seeing on the screen. Can you tell me?
This Google browser.
Yeah, it's a Google browser you are seeing.
Page of
So,
Google.
yeah, so in this search engine, in this Google browser, so what I'm doing, I'm typing something. Please watch it and tell me what I'm typing. Right, you see. Are you able to see it? What did I type? Is it readable?
Sir, it's not properly visible, sir. It's too small.
Yeah. Font size is little small. I do appreciate.
www.mpa.job.
Yeah,
gov.in.
www.mca.gov.in. I'll try to increase the font size. Let me.
mca.governor.in.
Yeah.
We can zoom in and see. We
Bye bye.
can now speak.
Okay, fine. You see, we are seeing it. What I typed in www.mca.gov.in, and some of you might be already knowing what is the expansion of MCA. Can you help me?
Ministry of Corporate Affairs.
Yeah, we are going to the website of Ministry of Corporate Affairs.
Company.
Corporate Affairs, right? Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We are visiting to that website. Let us see how it looks like. Now you can see this is the website of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, I'm erasing this particular appeal. Now let us see how the home page looks like. Are you seeing this website? Government of India website, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I request all of you to familiarize yourself with this site also. Okay, so let me tell you, first of all, one more thing, let me share at this stage. And it is said, and not only said, we also believe, we the practitioners also believe in this thing, that a good lawyer did not know what is the law. Okay, he can manage. Without knowing the law, he can manage. But what he should know where the law is. So far as law paper is concerned, it is more important to know where the law is. You should be able to find out the law. You should know what is the source of the law. That is more important because the law is so vast. It is very difficult for a person to remember it. If you try that, I will be remembering all the entire law. It is very difficult thing, is it not? Rather, I should know where the law is. If I know a particular provision, I should be able to trace it. I should be able to find it. So where the law is more important than what the law is. Okay, so in real life, suppose today you'll be learning a provision, tomorrow you may forget. But if you know where the law is, you can check it out. So therefore, I am trying to show you the original source where the law is. And there is one more use that why you are learning the source. Law subject is a dynamic subject. That is what was law today. That is different tomorrow. That will be different tomorrow. What I was teaching, let us say 1 year back, what I was teaching, let us say capital of a private limited company, today it has been changed. Is it not? So if you remember, no, I will remember this is the capital, this should be the minimum paid up capital of private limited company, but it has been changed because of subsequent notification. So since the law keeps on changing, so it is more important for us to understand the source. We need to find out the source. Okay, so let us see where the law is first. Let us try to find out the law. Yeah. Now, friends, you see in this website here, can you read it? What is written here in this portion? What I am showing?
Acts and rules.
Acts and rules.
Acts and rules. Fantastic.
Acts and rules.
So let me click here. I will get the acts and rules. Here you see. Okay. And here you see some explanations are there that what is the responsibility of Ministry of Corporate Affairs so far as acts and rules is concerned. This has been described here. Here you see acts are there. If I click here, I can find out act. And here is also one more link, the Companies Act 2013. I can find it out here. Okay, anywhere I can see it. Let me see here. You see about MCA, image gallery, video gallery, all these things are there. Let us see acts. If you see the act, you can find out Companies Act 2013 is here or not. Are you able to see it? Companies Act 2013.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, here you can find out the rules also. Not only acts, we need to know certain things about the rules. You see, various rules are also there. Okay, so I can go to Companies Act 2013. Should I go here? Should I go here? Companies Act.
Yes, sir.
Let me click it here. Let us see how Companies Act looks like. Now you see Companies Act 2013 is appearing here. Okay, now as I told you, the act is divided into various chapters. Can you see it? What are the chapters? How many chapters are there? This is the last chapter. How many chapters?
29.
29 chapters are there in Companies Act. And you know, each chapter there will be some sections. You see how chapter names are there. Chapter 1 talks about preliminary. Chapter 2 talks about incorporation of company and matters incidental thereto. Chapter 3 talks about prospectus. Let us say you see various chapters are there. Let us say you want to know how to manage accounts. Here is a chapter. Chapter 9 is an account. Chapter 10 is an audit. Okay, you want to know what is the qualification of the directors, chapter 11 is there. Okay, you see various chapters. You want to wind up your company, you can refer to chapter 20. Are you seeing the sources? So everything is here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there are 29 chapters. And after chapters, you can find out, suppose schedules. These schedules are there. Schedules mean certain structured things are there. Okay, let us say how memorandum association should look like. It is there in schedule 1. How articles of association should look like. It is there in schedule. You see, this is schedule 1, table A. This is schedule 1, table B, like this. You see, various schedules are also there. You can go through all these schedules. Okay, you see, schedules are also there. Got some idea? Are you feeling comfortable up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, let us say, if you want to start, let me start with this preliminary chapter. Let us see how it looks like. So let me click here, preliminary part. Okay. Now you see, if you look at this chapter, you can find out there are 2 sections only under preliminary chapter. That is section 1 and section 2. Are you seeing it? Of course, font is little small. I'll be showing you in slides, but just I wanted to make you more convenient with the website itself. Okay, because once you are familiar with use of this website, you can feel that always company's entire company law is in your pocket. You are having a mobile phone means you are having the entire law in your pocket. Is it not? Now you see 2 sections. What is section 1? It talks about short title, extent, commencement, and application. 4 things are covered under section 1. Section 2 talks about definition. Both the things we will be learning. Let me take you to section 1. So let me click it. Now you see app looks like this. Are you able to see it? If you look, of course, little
Yes, sir.
small, little faint. You see Companies Act 2013. This is the serial number 18 of the acts which are passed in the year 2013. This part of these 2 sentences, this portion, act in fact starts from here. From chapter onwards, act starts. This part in any law is called as preamble. Preamble means it talks about purpose of the law. Like why this law is passed, it is explained here. So an act to consolidate and amend the law relating to the companies. That means earlier there were certain laws, certain provisions are there, some notifications are there to consolidate all these things. This law has been passed. So the purpose of the law is explained here. This part is called as preamble. Right? Then chapter 1 starts. Chapter 1, the name of the chapter is preliminary. And here, if you talk about the first section, you see, it talks about 4 things: short title, extent, commencement, and application. Okay. Right? You can find out 1. This act may be called as Companies Act 2013. 2, it extends to whole of India. Okay. Then certain provisions are applicable for from different dates that has been explained in 3. Then 4 talks about some more are provisions to whom this law applies. So you see, the section 1 looks like this. Okay, section, got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us see it. Let us read the provisions. Let us analyze these provisions of section 1. I think at this you are familiar with use of MCA website now. You can easily find out Companies Act, what is law. You can easily find it out. Now I will be sharing my slides with you. Let us see. Let us try to learn. Let us start the subject. To start the subject, we'll start with section 1. So let me see what is the content of the section 1. What I showed you, the same thing I will be showing now. Yeah, but before coming to that, let me inform you. You see, what we are going to learn is Companies Act 2013. But prior to that, there was a Companies Law which is called as Companies Act 1956. Okay. Prior to that, there was Companies Act 1913. And prior to that, Companies Act 1850, so many laws are there. But now we are learning the latest act, Companies Act 2013. Just I wanted to give you some idea about this, right? And if you talk about the background of this law, you already seen the preamble part. It talks about the intention is to consolidate and amend the law relating to companies. Okay, so many laws were there relating to the companies. The intention of this Companies Act 2013 was to consolidate that thing and to amend the laws relating to the companies. And passing of this law or this legislation was necessitated to meet the changes in the national as well as international scenario. The earlier law was passed long back in 1956, but in the meantime, so many changes has happened in the economic scenario. So to incorporate all these things, the new law passing was necessary. Okay, and this Companies Act 2013 was received on the assent of the President on 29th August 2013. 29th August 2013 it received the assent of the President. That means on that date it became law, and it was notified in the official gazette on 30th August 2013 for public information. And then different sections are made applicable from different dates to notification. So section 1 came into force immediately on 1st August 2013. Section 1 we have seen it. Then further 98 sections were notified on 12th September 2013 that become effective. Further 143 sections were notified on 1st April 2014. Like this, in a staggered manner, this law was introduced in our country. Right? And you must be having some idea now. This law contains 29 chapters, and there are 470 sections and 7 schedules. Each chapter has at least one set of rules. Certain rules are there that is also relevant. Sometimes you have to refer to the company's rules also. Intention of this new law is to improve the corporate governance and to simplify the regulations and to take care of the interest of the investors. So keeping all these things in mind, the old law of Companies Act 1956 was replaced with Companies Act 2013. This is the background just I wanted to share with you before entering into the concept. And the ministry's website homepage I had already shown you. And we have seen this thing. Section 1. Section 1, we have seen 4 subsections were there. Section 1, 2, 3. The next slide, we will be talking about the 4th part. Now, let us see, first of all, what is Section 1.1. It is called as, it talks about short title. So, this act may be called as Companies Act 2013. When it's short title, this is the title of the act. Okay. So, every act, if you refer to any act, you'll be talking about Section 1.1, we'll be talking about short title. Almost most of the act you can find out Section 1 has got 3 components. One is short title, second is extent, third one is commencement. In your Companies Act, you are finding 4 things: short title, extent, commencement, as well as application part is there. Okay, you can refer to many other acts, you will find only these 3 things: short title, extent, and commencement. Short title you have understood. Now tell me, what is the title of this act, title of this law? What is the title of this law? Please unmute and speak.
Companies Act 2013.
Yes, so that is the title. So if you are saying Companies Act, just Companies Act, that you see title is incomplete, because the name of the act is Companies Act 2013. Right? So this is the full name of this is the title of the act. And the second provision talks about extent. It extends to, can you read it? It extends to
Whole of India.
whole of India. That means entire country has to follow this law. You may find some laws are there which are not applicable to whole of India. Certain exclusions are there. It is not applicable to Goa, Daman, Diu, let us say certain northeast states or state of Jammu and Kashmir, like this. But this law you are saying it is applicable to whole of India. Okay. Third point talks about the commencement. So as you have already seen, the different sections are made applicable from different dates depending upon the notification. So this section shall come into force at once. This section with this section 1 shall come into force at once, and the remaining provisions of the act shall come into force on such date as the central government may by notification in the official gazette you can say publish. So you can say the remaining sections will be come into force when it is notified. That's what I'm saying. That's why we are discussing that 98, just like that. Yeah, we are discussing that point at here. 98 sections are notified on 12 September. So that those sections were effective from 12 September. 143 sections came into force on 1st April. So like this, the different sections are notified, or you can say sections are notified in a staggered manner, and accordingly those sections are applicable with effect from those dates. Right. These 3 points are over to you. Did you follow these 3 points? Short title, extent, and commencement. These are 3 very basic provisions. Are you clear? If you are clear, then we'll move to the yes or no. Can you reply? Well, friends, now let us move to the 4th provision. 4th provision is about application. So this also will learn that Companies Act is applicable to which entities. First of all, it is applicable to the companies which are incorporated under this act. Under this act means Companies Act 2013 or under any previous company law. You already know what are the previous companies laws, is it not? Maybe Companies Act 1956 or maybe some law prior to that. So all those companies which are incorporated prior to that will also be coming under this law. Okay. So let us say there was a company which is incorporated in the year 1981. Right. It is incorporated in the year 1981. Under year 1981 means in which year and under which Companies Act it is incorporated?
1956.
1956 Act. But this law is also applicable to them. Okay. This particular new law is also applicable to them. Right. So now let us look at this list. If you talk about this application, you see there are 6 items are there. Companies which are incorporated under this act or any other previous company. Second thing is it is also applicable to insurance companies. So many insurance companies are there in your country, you know. They are also companies. So this law is also applicable to them. But you know, insurance companies are regulated by another law that is called as Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999. Popularly that is called as IRDA Act 1999. Okay. So what will happen? These insurance companies follow Companies Act 2013. But if there are some provisions which are inconsistent with IRDA Act 1999, then provisions of IRDA Act 1999 will supersede Companies Act. Therefore, if you read the language, it says insurance companies, except in so far as the state provisions are inconsistent with the provisions of Insurance Act. Let us say Insurance Act says something or IRDA Act says something, but Companies Act said something different. Then the insurance company has to follow which act? Companies Act or Insurance Act?
Insurance Act.
Insurance Act. Insurance. Let me give you an example. Same also true for banking company. It is applicable to banking company, but except in so far as the said provisions are inconsistent with the provisions of Banking Regulation Act 1949. Banking Regulation Act 1949 will supersede over the provisions of the Companies Act. Same also true in case of electricity companies. Okay, who are engaged, that is companies who are engaged in generation or supply of electricity, except in so far as the said provisions are inconsistent with the provisions of Electricity Act 2003. Right. So if there is some inconsistency between the Regulatory Act and this Companies Act, then the Regulatory Act will supersede. Is it clear? For example, let me give you an example. For example, you can see, you must have seen the balance sheet of various companies and you must have observed that a particular format, they're prepared in a particular style. Yes or no? Every company prepare balance sheet in a particular format, exactly in the same format every company prepares. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why they prepare like this? Because companies law has provided that you have to prepare the balance sheet in this format. This format is provided in the Schedule 3. I was showing you below the act some schedules are there. It says this is Schedule 3. You have to present your financial statements like balance sheet, statement of profit and loss in this format. It clearly says that. So company has to follow it. Okay. But if you see a banking company's balance sheet, you can look at the balance sheet of a banking company, you will find format is different. Then you may think how it is different. It is different because Banking Regulation Act provides a different format. Or if you see an insurance company's balance sheet, you can find it is different. Or if you find an electricity company's balance sheet, you can find it is different. So when there is inconsistency, so they follow the other law, not Companies Act 2013. Is this point clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now again we'll go back to applicability part. Yeah. Now, other companies governed by special act. There are certain companies which are governed by some special act. Government passes some act, let us say Life Insurance Corporation of India Act. So certain special acts, certain companies are formed under some special act, and this company's law is also applicable to those companies. But to the extent they are not inconsistent with the provisions of the other act. Now, one more thing. This law is also applicable to body corporate which are incorporated by any act for the timing in force as the central government may by notification specify on this behalf, subject to such exceptions, modifications, adaptations as may be specified in the notification. Central government may specify this. This is also applicable to other bodies or other body corporates which are incorporated under any act. Okay, central government may notify that. So these particular provisions talks about applicability, meaning this particular law is applicable to all these 6 category of entities. I repeat, from any company, normal company or company which are incorporated under any earlier law. And it's also applicable to insurance company, banking company, power generation company, power distribution company, companies which are governed under special act, and body corporates which are notified by central government. To all of them, this act is applicable. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These are basic things we need to learn about the Companies Act. So if I,
Sir,
yeah,
sir.
Monica, yes,
Sir.
Minimize your screen, sir. It is not completely visible.
yeah.
Sir, a small question is there. Sir, if I'm not mistaken, sir, is it like some specific act are there that is for all the companies? And whereas that if it is insurance, banking and all that, they have their own acts are there. Sir, am I okay, sir?
Yeah, let me put it in a different way. Let us say, I think, Monica, you are asking? Who is asking this question, please?
Sir, it's Madhurika, sir.
Yeah, yes, Monica, you see. Let us say you want to form a company in your own name. Okay, let us say Monica Services Private Limited. You have to definitely follow Companies Act. You have to incorporate the company following this law. Right? Anybody forming a company, he has to primarily follow the provisions of the Companies Act. But sometimes what happens? Government forms a company, government passes an act. New law government passes. And under this act, they form an entity. They have to also follow the Companies Act 2013. Okay?
Sir, got it.
Okay. Let us say how State Bank of India is formed. There is a State Bank of India Act.
Right, sir.
Okay. So through that act, that entity is formed. They have to also follow Companies Act 2013. To the extent the provisions of Banking Regulation Act is not inconsistent to the Companies Act. If it is inconsistent, they have to look after their provisions. Okay, if it is not inconsistent, they have to follow the Companies Act. Are you getting? Suppose Companies Act is saying something, but their act is saying something different. Then there is inconsistency. They have to follow their act. But
So
their
the
act
same
is
I was asking.
Yeah.
Sir, I was asking the same thing. Huh?
Okay. Is it clarified now? Right. So these are the 6 things we have to remember regarding applicability. So friends, if I summarize at this stage, you see today all of course some very basic things we have all learned. We have understood that we have seen where to locate the Companies Act. That is more important for us. If I want to learn something about the Companies Act, I know primary source is that. Is it not? We can go to MCA site and you can see the bare act, raw act. You can see it there. Any provision, if you want, you can see the updated act is there. Is it not? So practically, this definitely gives us an indication that there is no need to refer any book because when act is there, I can refer to that. Now, maybe if you want some explanation of some provisions, you may refer to a book, but otherwise that is sufficient. If you are able to understand bare act, then that is enough. Then we covered so far the first chapter, first section. And first section, has got 4 elements. We have seen the title of the act. Now we know the title of the act. Whenever we will be saying Companies Act, we will be saying complete title. It is Companies Act 2013. Right? So let us make a habit that Companies Act means Companies Act 2013 because that is the title. And now one thing is clear that it is applicable to whole of India. There is no exception. And we know one more thing that commencement of the different sections commence from different dates depending upon the notification. It is not that the entire act is made applicable from one date. It's not that. Okay, this is a kind of difference in the kind of uniqueness which Companies Act. That different sections are applicable from different dates depending upon the notification. And this Companies Act 2013 applies to normal companies, insurance companies, banking companies, electricity supply companies, companies formed under special act, and entities which are notified by central government. Friends, is it okay? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So section 1 is clear. Is it? So our purpose of today's class is to introduce you to the topic. Now section 1 is clear. After section 1, tell me if the section 1 is clear, then where I should go? Once section 1 is over, please tell me. Section 1, next section is? What is the next section? Who can tell me?
Section 2.
Yeah. Section 2 is about what? I had already shown you the section 2. Is it not? Section 2 I had shown you. Okay. If I show you once again, you see. First chapter has got 2 things, short title, extent and commencement, and this is about section 2. Section 2 is about what?
Definitions.
Definition. So if I look at here, if I click here, I can find out section 2. Now you see section 2 talks about definitions. Various definitions are there. Okay, why we refer section 2? Because if you want to understand the meaning of certain terms which are there, which are used in the law, then I have to refer to section 2. Section 2, you see, here is the definition of abridged prospectus. Then there is accounting standard. Then there is the meaning of alter. You might be thinking, where is the meaning of company? Why it is appearing like this? First abridged prospectus, accounting standard, alter. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me? You see, company meaning is coming here. Section 2, clause 20 talks about company. You see, if you look at section 2, you can find out these terms are described in an alphabetical order. First A, then B, then C, like these terms are described. Are you seeing it? Are you observing it?
Yes.
Yes,
In
sir, yes, sir.
alphabetical order. So if you want to search a particular, suppose you want to understand the meaning of financial statement, you have to see in F. After completion of E, you see F starts. So terms are explained in alphabetical order. Okay. So if you are looking for a meaning of a particular term which is defined in section 2, then you have to refer in an alphabetical order. You can easily find it. Okay, and if it is not there in section 2, then you don't have any option. Then you have to refer to a dictionary. That means that term has not been defined. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So section 2 are related concepts. Some more concepts are also there. So we will plan to learn it in our next session. Okay, next class we'll be learning this thing. But I think all of you are comfortable with the first provision, section 1 of the Companies Act. So next class I am planning to cover section 2, that is definition part and other provisions. Friends, if you have any query right now, you may feel free to ask me. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes, feel free to ask me any query if you have.
So we have to remember all the 29 chapters
No.
and the sections.
No. It's not necessary. You need to, what I will expect, just give me a moment. Okay, that this question I will be answering you. Any other query? You see, what I really expect that you need not memorize, you need to understand the concepts. You need to understand, you need not memorize. In a paper like law, so we can't expect you to remember. Nobody remembers this thing. But you need to understand the concept, you need to understand the meaning of certain things. If you are able to understand, then you will be able to manage. And you also, our syllabus, everything is not there in our syllabus. Very limited things are there. In fact, very, very limited things are there. So you'll be sticking to that.
Thank you.
Okay. So no other query? Okay, then friends, thank you very, very much. We are closing our show here today. We'll catch up. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.